Hey neighbor, welcome to the Black Parade. My name is John and I'm about to rank every song on the classic My Chemical Romance album from worst to best. That's right, I said classic. And the rest of you can go ahead and come out of the shadows now. It's okay, Fantano gave it classic status, which is something I've been screaming from the mountaintops since '06, but it's fine. This rock opera is a masterclass in how to constantly thrill and satisfy the listener while also taking your band to soaring new heights, never treading water or staying content, just always going for it 100% of the way. The Black Parade is, without a doubt, my favorite album of all time. I mean, look at me. Look at this eyeshadow. I clearly have no idea what I'm doing. I'm wearing a size medium jacket that I won at a contest years ago. But many of you watching already knew that this was my favorite album, but I have to point that out because you need to understand that I love every second of this album. And I would never intentionally slander this precious material, but for the sake of a fun ranking video, I had to put something first and something comes last. You can and will disagree, but remember, just take a breath, and you know what? Screw it. Riot in the streets, this dude clearly isn't a real fan. Jokes aside, I'm ranking this based on two main factors. 75% personal opinions or favorites, 25% how important the song is to the story, since this is a concept album. Like bomb this video, because if we hit 3,000 likes, I will drop my top 20 My Chem songs. You guys have been begging for it, and I don't even care about waiting for the potential of new music anymore since they reunited. I'll just make the list if we hit that goal. Deal? Deal. Now let's rank this masterpiece.
Give the blood, gallons of the stuff, give them all that they can drink.
Sorry, Blood, someone had to finish last. I adore the demented fuckery displayed by our obviously adored patient, but then again, this is a hidden track that comes at the tail end of the record. It serves its purpose, but it's not necessarily essential to the core story or sound of the Black Parade, but you know I'm never gonna be able to resist a sing-along if it happens to come on.
Your aspirations to shreds, another cog in the murder machine.
Them crazy teenagers are putting eyeshadow on in the yard again, Paul. Quick, get the shovel! Kids will be kids, and teenagers will scare the shit out of you. The Scene Kid Anthem is still well known and loved even by newer generations of music fans, but it's definitely not one of My Chem's best songs. Do I love it? Sure, but kinda like a distant friend kinda love, one that I've been around a few too many times for me to actually care all that much. Jagged riffs, nods to classic rock, and rousing vocals are the best elements teenagers hold, so there's no shortage of good things about the song, but it also strays from the themes of the rock opera similar to what Green Day did with Wake Me Up When September Ends on American Idiot. What is it with track 11 on these rock operas deviating from the story?
Well, I think I'm gonna burn it all. Everybody burn a house right down and say what I wanna say.
For the longest time when I was a kid, this was probably the song I skipped the most on my little CD player sitting in the back of my mom's car blasting the Black Parade. Something about its animalistic tendencies must have been a little bit too much for this soy boy to handle, but I stepped up my game and recognized the importance of this loose cannon years later. Gerard Way really shoots off some impressive vocal flares backed by Ray and Frank's fiery guitars, all of which combine together to just give this vivid picture of hell, or something similar to it. House of Wolves has hints of punk and thrash to it, and I love Bob Breyer's aggressive drumming, so it's safe to say that this versatile track is worth keeping in rotation.
If you look in the mirror and don't like what you see, you can find out firsthand.
Come one, come all to me putting The End all the way down at number 11. I hate to put it this low given just how important it is and just how much they did with such a short, sour intro track, but here we are. Breaking Hearts. The End unnerves the listener by instantly giving you the fly-on-the-wall feeling of listening to a family member deliver a monologue about his diagnosis. The mood is set to piano and a heart monitor as the room slowly fills with Gerard's musty vocals, plus some of the well-timed choral vocals as things continue to progress in the song.
I don't love you like I did.
A show-stopping ballad pours out a large picture of feels on I Don't Love You, a moving gut stab that shows off just how damn dynamic My Chemical Romance are. This is a massive moment that will raise the hairs on your neck if you're really in tune with some of those wailing vocals Gerard is throwing around, because they always still to this day just catch me off guard because they're that electrifying. Our protagonist, the patient, sees a romantic relationship dissolving as his illness marches him closer to the cold embrace of death. It's incredibly poignant, but also loyal to the unfortunate real-life happenings for people who have battled cancer. Many find their significant other leaving them due to the overwhelming pressure of responsibility, or just the generalized depression they may experience secondhand because of it being so much to manage. The boys did an outstanding job at using music to capture this hollow agony in a bottle, and I think that's one of the main reasons it still continues to pull at the heartstrings. This, my friends, is what we call a barn burner. I refer to this evil mastermind as such due to its uncanny sense of evil that shoots everything in the room up in flames as darkness engulfs the mind of her unhinged character. Mama is a hard pill to swallow. I mean, there are dozens of different ways to interpret this son of a gun, but I hope we can all agree that in some way, it's about a son not being accepted by a mother. There's themes of war tied in, and it all just feels a bit like Channing hand in hand with other damned souls at a carnival in the depths of hell, and I think that's a very good thing. This song is definitely twisted and really drives the stake in the longer it goes on. The Liza Minnelli feature is wildly satisfying, and the drastic changes of pace will leave you with a sinister smile and the best case of whiplash you could ever ask for.
Could you cry for me? 'Cause I don't feel bad.
Sleep is such a passionate landmine that's incredibly underrated even by some huge fans of the band. But out of everything on this album, this might have been the hardest one to rank. My feelings often fluctuate with this chilling moment that appears near the close of the Black Parade, but it certainly has an unmistakable identity that can't be stripped away. Ghostly recordings accompanied by piano open the song as the patient struggles with haunting night terrors, mirroring real-life nightmares for vocalist Gerard Way, who felt these horrid dreams while the band recorded the album at the Paramore estate in LA. Spine-tingling is probably the best way to summarize this song. It's a thrill to listen to, and it's one that should be listened to in the dark, headphones on. Let yourself sink into the patient's point of view and see the bleak destiny he's manifesting, seemingly giving up the fight, ready to succumb to his disease after these overwhelming night terrors have taken away his only escape: sleep.
Juliet loves a beat and the lusty commands. Drop the dagger and lather the blood on your hands, Romeo.
God, this hurts. I am ride or die for this song, and it's hard to even imagine a world where I'm putting this at number 7, but do bear in mind that chart I told you about. 75% my opinion, 25% importance to the album. This song is fucking aces all around, so basically what I'm saying is this is the part of the ranking where I slowly started descending into madness trying to put these songs in order. Let's just take a moment out to appreciate the detailed writing along with the allegories, the subplots that we learn about on the Sharpest Lives. The title alone is a play on words, and the way it's slammed into the chorus is ecstasy. The sharpest lives are the deadliest to lead. We find out just how recklessly the patient lived leading up to his diagnosis, so does that make the character harder to feel sorry for? Actually, no. If anything, it actually probably makes him feel a little bit more relatable, because to err is to human, and this guy clearly made some mistakes in life. The entire musical side of this song has a lurking sense of melodrama, with lyrics like, "Drop the dagger and lather the blood on your hands, Romeo," still giving me chills because of how fucking visceral this writing style is. The lead into the hook features the line, "So why don't you blow me?" Pause. A kiss before she goes. And I just want to clap with the way that it segues to that adrenaline rush of the chorus. I don't use the phrase songs that saved my life all that often, but in this bizarre case, it is indeed true. A song that helped heal my heavy head in my teenage years when I felt like a terrible person, an outcast with a bad taste in music because of the church-supported school I grew up attending. These are bad feelings to have about yourself at age 14, but the proper finale to the Black Parade lit a match in those dark times that turned into a blazing roar that couldn't be stopped. It's one of the very reasons I'm sitting here talking to you today, and Famous Last Words will always be one of my favorite songs. Is it a tad repetitive? Well, tad might be putting it lightly. Yes it is, but some of the greatest songs ever written are repetitive too, so I'm not counting off points for that. But I will say that I don't necessarily love that it leaves everyone on an ambiguous note that's caused so much discussion among fans. Did the patient live? Did he die? Did he finally just accept that he was going to die, so he started living with no fear for the first time in his entire life? At this moment in time, I'm gonna go with the latter of those, because it feels the most inspiring to me for some reason. Consider yourself served with the news that it's all over. You're dead. 2 weeks to live have never sounded so fun. Morbidly fun, but an exhilarating pedal-to-the-floor ride nonetheless. Imagine having all of your worst fears confirmed head-on in a hospital setting. No one likes you, you're better off dead, and worst of all, your mom is taunting you in front of the doctor again. Like, come on, Mom, give me a break. I'm dying. I'm going to hell. Give me a break. Ray Toro was a mad lad on this tune, playing some splintering riffs before dueling it out with Frank Iero on a loose live wire guitar solo that could pump life into a 2-week-old corpse. This is a sing-along for the losers, an anthem for the hopeless, and the soundtrack I want playing at my funeral.
Never marry, baby, I'm just soggy from the chemo.
My goal here wasn't to sit down and attach a personal story as a part of discussing each song, but this album is woven so deeply into my own narrative that I kinda have to let out those inner demons that this song Cancer helped me expel. 2011 is the year my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. My world stopped spinning for a moment. I was 19 years old, I was scared to death of losing her. I was in college at the time, but still living at home, and I remember refusing to accept this as true. I'd always felt such a special connection to this grim narrative, but I didn't know why. Maybe I just loved the song, and that was it. But now, the tide had shifted. This piano-led song will always mean so much to me, and if my heart is black, it's due to such a large portion of it being saved by the Black Parade.
Sometimes I get the feeling she's watching over me.
Do me a quick favor, staple this image into your mind. I am the one who knocks. I am the Black Parade. For this larger-than-life Queen-influenced blazer, prepare to sing your heart out and listen to the tale every scene kid has lived their life by since 2006. Carry on, do or die. The mirage rolls on for the patient as he recalls his childhood through the guise of a daydream, reveling in the glory days as this album's narrative becomes that much more fully realized. I went through a phase where I felt like I was kinda tired of this song. I mean, it's the biggest hit they ever had. It reached number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it may have been a bit overexposed, used in a few too many memes, everything like that, but I've gotten past it. A life-affirming, grandiose song such as this can never die, so I picked back up my marching drum and baton to continue carrying on the legacy of the Black Parade. Wow! Wow, you did it, Disappear! You hustled your way into my heart and subconscious so hard that you almost topped the list. Number 2 goes to This Is How I Disappear, a song best listened to with its partner in crime that follows immediately after it in the track list, The Sharpest Lives. A seance takes place as the patient tries to reconnect with someone from beyond the grave, a former lover it seems like, somebody that could give him some answers in this downward spiral state of his life as he now knows that death is inevitable. Musically speaking, the slow rising suspense the guitars wind towards explode like a jack-in-the-box when Gerard Way unleashes that simple "go" before we all start headbanging our way into invisibility. Everything is so ominous. It's crazy how well they nailed this monster of a song and how it's grown to be even more important as time goes on. The thick, twisted guitar noise creates utter chaos on the bridge as Gerard puts on a wild display of talent, serving up as much menace as he does substance, making it easy to see why this was his favorite song on the album at the time of recording.
It was the roar of the crowd that gave me heartache to sing.
We're getting risque for the number 1 pick. It's none other than Disenchanted, a perpetually overlooked moment in their discography that not only sounds unlike anything I've ever heard before, but it also masterfully ties together the entire story of our patient in the Black Parade. He's become so cynical in his time on Earth as his former heroes have fallen by the wayside and life is shuddering around him. The band just passes off the feeling of getting wasted at the bar and then unraveling completely as your life comes closer and closer to ending. It's heavy stuff, and I'm sad that I didn't fully recognize this song's power during my high school years, which, oddly enough, they reference that time in life here by saying that our patient in question was bullied in school, possibly jump-starting his disenchantment. Gerard's vocals go off like fireworks as he sails through these stormy waters so gracefully, hitting multiple strides and never breaking a sweat. The acoustic guitar begins our journey with a somber, reflective state, but it doesn't take the rest of the band long to come crashing through the walls as that build to the hook is alarmingly good, as are the backing vocals. Can we just appreciate all the boys doing backing vocals throughout the album? Some of these harmonies and melodies are just ridiculous. Thanks for tuning in to watch me rank all the songs on the Black Parade from worst to best. Again, this was just meant to be a fun video where I talked about, yes, my own personal opinions, how important some songs are to the album, and you can feel free to disagree, leave your own ranking in the comments section down below. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you get notified when I upload, and don't forget to join me on Playlist, top link down below. I appreciate them sponsoring this video. If you do want to follow me on there, then I will be doing multiple live events every month where we can listen to music together. Other than that, you can see all of the My Chem videos in this playlist right here, or tap here for another recent album ranking. Socials in the description, and I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.